Every day in India Puttaparthi, a thought of Baba is mentioned. And the thought for that day was, today I give my darshan, and every act of mine had its meaning which you cannot understand. You sit in darkness and are frightened. You don't notice the bumps and holes in the road. You can't even see that the road is smooth and tight. There is no mistake in creation, be convinced of that. If God's creation had mistakes, all would suffer equally. In that time I dreamt almost every night of moving house. Transformation also had many inner conversations with Baba. Also in not experiencing Ananda, you can experience Ananda. If you let being go its way, there is Ananda. When I let being go on, you, myself, and feel Ananda, then it is not my merit? It never is, for then you are no more. You yourself can only exist by not following me. And even that I allowed. You are to learn that you are not. How can I still think if I am no more? You don't think, you experience, and that is Ananda. Thinking is something with which you have a purpose to get something from it. There is nothing wrong with it till you become aware that it has just the opposite effect. You make the illusion stronger. That experience after the thinking is again that happiness that you search. We think ourselves in all kinds of situations to know ourselves. Actually we play, but do we enjoy? At Christmas I was again playing guitar in a Christmas choir, and Baba walked around, went into the temple, and a bit later he appeared outside and looked in my direction. Something heavy, weighty went through me, and I knew, oh my God, he is coming. He walked straight to me and spoke to me. What's the name of the drama they will play? After singing there is always a drama. I was so stunned that I only could say, pardon? And again he asked, what is the name of the drama they will play? I don't know, I murmured, but the woman next to me said happily, oh yes, we know, the joy of the Lord. I felt the importance of those words, drama, play, joy. So performance, play and joy. These words still came very often through my mind during painful moments as support and insight. You are a wave, you are pushed up, driven forward, and you burst apart and are divided over the whole. You become absorbed in the all-embracing. You are not responsible for the action, not the doer. In absence of I think, I do, all actions become spontaneous and truly, and are a part of the function of the whole. Baba does all in the illusion to get us out. If I give you interview, you will go deeper into the illusion, for then you will adhere to my form. But I can carry the Ananda from it. You have that also without my form. Think how I let you close your eyes at darshan. You don't think it was you who did it by yourself? You have more interview than anyone. I am just the form of the unformed. You don't see me because I am not there, but because you are not there. Not because you are there, but because I am here. This letter made me think. Finally, I understood it when I stopped thinking about it. And that was exactly what he had said. Not because you are there, but because I am there means that he is in me when I, thinking mind, is gone. If he is in me, of course he cannot see himself, and in the first case, I could not see him because I was absent and did not focus my attention on him. Appearances can influence someone only by its consequences, but when there is no I anymore, nothing can have influence anymore. Someone who is wise can resist both thanks as reluctance. How can there exist acceptance or reluctance? It all plays within you. The inward-looking mind is no longer receptive and therefore undistracted from its freedom. Attachment does not appear by dualism, but by action in dualism, by identification with the object. The mind, again, that looks for security. Would that mind really be so insecure that it has to cling to everything? The love inside me is always rock solid in all its softness. It has no wavering, but it does not come out of the mind as appearance. No, the mind appears out of her and then goes its own way. Time to come home, man. Play it enough. On 31 December 1999, I asked Baba, "Do you have 1 minute, 10 seconds for me? I give you my life." And I was allowed to touch his foot. He laughed deeply and warm and full at me. He gave me the sweetest smile of the cosmos. I started my begin, and there will come a time that I even can let go of that. You feel disconnected of the world. You notice there rises separation of the daily things. How is that, Baba? I ask. An intermediate step, a phase. You lose your identity and don't have yet that of the whole. The normal daily life is also inside yourself. First you own, then you lose, and then you are. When something exists for your mind as pleasant, there must be something unpleasant as well. This way you maintain dualism and thus your captivity. Your whole life exists practically alone out of reaction and almost no action, and still you think you are the doer. You don't have to eliminate your I, but you can give your I to everything you see and experience. You are not charged with the work of your senses, but the witness. You are not responsible. How could, for instance, your heart still go on beating if you had to keep yourself busy with it? It works so perfect, and so does everything in life. Is it you that flows the water? Or do you wave the sea, blow the wind? Do you fly the bird, stream your blood around and pump oxygen through your brain? Do you think par hasard? You thought so. How you dream, and even that is being done for you. You are not the doer. A thought arises in you from where? Do you also make your hunger? Your body does that. It will call when it is necessary and takes care of itself. You don't need to bear the responsibility. Finally, you are only the observer of everything, the witness. If you are only witness, it does not matter anything what you see. You see all and nothing. When you see that good is good and beautiful is beautiful, evil exists. Are you witness? Then you just see. Rejoice in your witnessing, Baba says. Things only exist if your awareness is pointed at it. This way the whole universe is only perceptible when you focus at it. Therefore the whole universe is your possession. Something you learn also becomes your possession. To learn is to experience, have a grip on it. This way you can see that the learned forms you. You can be somewhere with two persons, and one notices something that the other doesn't see. Only when it is visible it can be known. It depends on how you look, but who determines your vision? Attention determines your vision. That attention can become wider and wider by just being attentive, living fully and enjoying every occurrence. It's given to you. First you live unconscious of the conscious, then you live conscious of the unconscious. For the first time in ages, I touched his foot, touched him from whom I originated. Never have I let loose of him. I have touched the Creator, myself. Never have I left him, myself. We have never been apart. I shiver at the thought of his foot, my own deepest self. I, nothing but I exist. Greater truth is not. I am the sum of the whole, totally deserted, all one, alone. Who is there next me that exists? Who are all those swarming souls over the earth? Whose earth is it? It exists only by me. I exist only by that earth. What is earth? What is I? There exists absolutely nothing. Appearance. Who and what is real then? Love? What is love? Love exists by me. I exist by love. I don't feel anything. Emptiness. How lonely God must have been that He created us. How lonely I must have been that I created myself. Why? Did I create me? Where is my friend? Where is my family? Where am I? If I know that I am the only one that exists, why am I not yet liberated from myself? Oh Baba, come, don't desert me. I need you. You and I are one. You feel that I am there, isn't it? I need you as much as you need me to experience ourselves. But you are happy and I am not, so there is difference? That's the appearance you are dealing with. Listen carefully, appearance. I am that part in you that is happy. The rest is Maya. I don't know anymore. I don't feel anything. First I lost my parents, then my friend, now myself. No, you win all. Give yourself to your real self, to your truth. What you feel is the appearance of your little I. That fear is not yours. You are me. You are free. Crawl into my loving arms. Love yourself the way you love me, the way I love you. You have the idea that you have to go somewhere, that you have to move in terms of distance and time. Drop that thought. Then you are on the place of destination. Here, now, something else does not exist. All that is hanging around it, images, thoughts, forms, plans, wishes, is the shell of your core. Take it off, climb out, don't move anymore, stop it all. You just can go on in the form, but stop craving for what you already are. See that there is no movement towards it. Don't sob with grief if you are happiness itself. If you would become liberated, means there would be a somebody who can be freed, next to somebody who would not be freed. So as a freed someone, you will be separated, and that is something which is not possible. Baba, my God, your laughter swells in my throat, burns in my heart, a burning, a fire not to be extinguished by the tears of my soul. Humbly I thank you for this grandiose love, this love that fulfills my climb to infinity. My body is being burned by thousands of volts. This love brings you and me together in balance, in eternal connection. And your foot I was allowed to touch, a connection between my body and yours, a bridge between you and me. I shall burn all bridges behind me, but this connection is for all eternity indestructible. It makes you me and me you, as a heavenly marriage, a whole coming, an absorbing in you. Thank you sounds banal. When you start a task full of discipline, that does not mean that the discipline is gone when the task is finished. That discipline is namely not in the action, but intertwined in your whole nature. You breathe it in and out. Like all values, they form one wholeness if you get into it. Peace is one, love is two, dualistic. Love is two, or for something or someone. Peace is one and all. To arrive at true love, it is necessary to see that there is no reason to it. Pure love, not because or things as love. If you don't pay attention to anything, there is love, and at the same time peace. Baba says to me, when you are untouched, there is deep peace as in meditation, but still you desire to the remaining of that situation, and therefore it is not real peace. There is emotion involved. When you touched my foot, you were in deep peace without emotion. You did expect much more of it, isn't it? That you would explode of happiness, but that is not the true happiness that you explode of it. That is emotion and therefore dependent of time and happening. You experienced real peace at that moment, but it did not occur to you as such. And you were even disappointed because it actually did not meet your expectations. You had expectations, so direction of dualism, nice or less nice. I do understand the value of that touch. If there would have been a wave of joy, it would have been a peak experience that also had to drop in intensity and dependent of the moment. Now it is a timeless event with timeless and therefore eternal value. So too you will see that peace, which is love, has the same value, steadily and eternally unaffected, not emotionally time-bound, one time yes, the other time not there. Peace is beyond time. I give you that. This simple thank you does not touch what I feel. It exactly does, for it is emotionless and therefore real. When you stop doing, I can do through you. First, it seems as if there is no purpose in your life when you surrender all, as if all loses its usefulness. But aimless is not worthless. When I let you touch my foot, I had an intention. It was not just like that. It brought you inside and my love. The ground sinks under my feet. You have my feet now to stand on. You think you lose grip, but trust your own wings. You don't need a bottom anymore. Rise up and rise above everything. Up there it's not boring, it's peace. But you have a purpose too, to teach us this. My aim is to make you aimless, but I myself am not an aim. So me neither, but I fall. I think my goal is to become happy, but the goal of everything is taken away. I can see that now, because you teach me that I am happiness itself, only I feel nothing. And that's precisely the happiness. I cannot yet experience it like that. You can, your ego not. It is Maya, this not feeling that you don't think you have. It is truth, that not feeling that you have. I don't like nothing anymore. You should indeed not like anything anymore to come to freedom. If you like anything, you are attached to it. Do I want freedom? Sure, leave it to me. I take care of that. Why else do you fight for it? It's me in you that pulls like that. First he gave me matches, then he set me on fire personally. Who is not bound to a result also loses the need for action, you might think. But you lose the need for reaction because you don't react anymore to stimuli. Now it is time for action. Action is real because it arises unfounded and unstructured from your highest self, spontaneously, so true. It wells up from the deepest truth and therefore it is pure. Reaction makes you tired. Action gives you strength. God says that He gave us free choice, but actually we don't have it, or hardly. The senses are so strongly developed by ignorance, we let it happen, that we were dragged by it straight into the abyss, time and again. You have to stand strong to endure the world. Turn away from the creation to the Creator. God is a perfect expanse of ourself. He is our equal, but then in perfection. We don't use all our strength to be perfect. He does. We spend a great deal of our strength to ourselves. He doesn't. Just ask Him. Praying is directly swinging your words straight out of your heart into heaven, not first all kinds of rituals, prior actions and taking postures. Then most of the power of the prayer is already lost because the energy of it is absorbed in the distribution of attention. To pray to God, I don't need to use words anymore. Every heartbeat is a prayer. The more people send a prayer at the same time into space, the stronger the vibration and so the effect of it. God Himself incarnated as a response to the prayer of thousands of holy people. If you call Him, He must react. Sai Baba says He is our servant. He is love and love serves. I am the execution of your inner self, provided it is pure. When you ask me to help somebody, it is you who is helping, only by the wish. I give what you ask, so you give. If you think something is difficult, give it love so it melts away in warmth. Problems are in the head, and warmth is 20 centimeters below it in the heart. If something does not touch you anymore, it has no appearance anymore, then it is not there, it's formless. Warmth is energy, vibration, and the more stuck we are to earthly heavy restriction, the lower the vibration number, the heavier also the matter that has to be brought in vibration. In nature, elephants and turtles are slow through a lot of mass, and butterflies lovely and airy. Beautiful music vibrates through everything straight into your heart, and singing yourself also causes vibration. A child on your lap feels safe when you sing, feels the vibration literally, physically coming over. Universe is energy, energy that reacts to our expectations. People too are a part of that energy universe. If you have a question, someone will automatically pop up with an answer. Everyone who crosses our path has a message, otherwise they would have chosen another path or would have turned off a road earlier. But everyone who wants to determine someone else's way forgets his own steps. If you don't do anything with what you have learned in the past, then what is the use of it now? You are growing every second to your own downfall. Make sure you are ahead of it. If we only remain as soul alone, we are not forlorn, we are home. When you look carefully to the sky, you see there is movement of billions of little dots that are swarming together. All of a sudden you see a bird flying through. You realize that a concentration of those energy dots form the temporal body of the bird for a moment, who on its specific way does its dharma, lives its life, till that bird falls apart again and the original dots take their place again, till they form something other again. So you see, one is all, whether or not bundled in a form. Life never stops, forms this, then that. It all is sacred. If you have undergone all forms, nothing forms no more. We are in heaven when we see how beautiful Earth is. The more beauty you see, the more you evolve, and by giving away that what you need most, you get it optimal. It flows. Inside is better than property. For property you must care, and insides cares for you. Every pain vibration you feel is like the dying of the little eye, and you get that where you aim at. By aiming at purity, it cannot other than come to you. Therefore, impurity must give way, and actually you have already achieved victory by taking this direction, by having the power that made your choice possible. Your vibration becomes wider and wider, higher. You touch everything, spread yourself in larger circles, and you are no longer restricted. You become more cosmic, wider, and span all. The movement is put in progress and you must complete itself. If you call God to you, He comes. Victory is certain. The deeper I bend, the straighter I stand. Even if my body would fall under me like that, I would still stand upright. I grew around my own knowledge and choked it for too long. The body is a detour to God. If you realize that God is all, in one blow your fear is gone, for God is love. And who is afraid of love? Nothing matters there, but then absolutely nothing whatsoever. I had a dream. You were in that dream. I was in that dream. In that dream there was one thing real. A love so deep and pure. Keep this love with you and let it warm your heart until we merge and wake up. Certain moments you see that you are the observer of your own dream image. Such moments are mercy. Then you see that all misery doesn't happen to your true self, for that is beyond all ups and downs of life. The one that suffers is your unreal I that plays a role in a drama. We are a dream and shall wake up in unity with our higher self. That unification is the real awakening. In your growth and insecurity, You long for affirmation of others, but finally, what are words other than air bubbles? What are thoughts other than fantasy shadows? What are feelings other than desires? What is love? Life itself, the only truth. I don't love you, I am you. You can at least me get very confused in the faith where you learn that you are actually just dreaming. For you are wondering who it is that dreams and who it is that is awake and who it is that shows you are dreaming. Of course you realize that all is one and the same in all aspects, but to live through it is quite different than to think through. Periods alternated with waking, dreaming and sleeping. Now and then I woke up, rather said, he woke me, made me experience waves of happiness that washed over me just like that without any reason. Instantly I came along with the wish that it might continue and all disappeared. What stayed was longing, yearning, ego breakdown. This was not an easy time, that's to say not for the part of me which can cling so stubbornly to whatever illusion. Doesn't matter what as long as it gives hold. Sometimes I laughed from a distance about its caprice as a witness, and sometimes it dragged me and I was completely in it again, in that mental suffering. I am nothing, so I cannot be all. If I experience myself and I do not exist, what does exist then? What is thinking in me? I have not knowing before me, while I get awareness of the knowing which isn't. Nothing is, so also the knowing is not. Taoism says the highest knowing is not knowing. I touch something that does not exist. I am ready for something that is not. How can this be? I see black space before me, bottomless. Even the light is not present. I want to grab what is not. I want to understand what is not. I want to ask questions about what is not. Even the questions are not. How can you grab an experience? How can you behold an answer if not even the question exists? I stand on the edge of a dizzying space, an edge that does not exist of a space that is not. Who am I? Am I? Lonely individual, only loneliness. An experience you cannot grab. Still I am the sum of all my experiences. So I am a product of unrealities. The world is illusion. Wrong, the world is not an illusion, for then you still acknowledge it. It is the not world that is not, a shift of understanding. You must see appearances as useless first, before they had their use. Moments are glimpses that slip through your fingers, and memories are moments of glimpses that slip through your fingers. Your only behold is that you hold nothing. When you understand everything also, the understanding is gone. Insight disappears with insight. Nothing remains. There was nothing after all, and still that what never was loves you. The unsuspected treasure of existence is only to be found inside yourself, not outside. Everything that comes from the outside is unreal. All thoughts come from outside. The mind is empty, but clings to transient matters. You can grow beyond grief by not experiencing it as such. You don't ignore it, but begin to understand it is a part of pleasure, Faults occur in your own vision, not in creation. Joy and pain are reflection of your own inner self. They do not exist around you. When you are one with the self, there is no room for birth and death. You seem to want to change that what is all the time. We don't want to receive, we want to desire. And therefore, we always are separated from ourselves. What is actually so important about me? What I do, what I think, what I feel? The delusion, is a dormant ability, but when it manifests, takes the form of the thinking mind. And then the germ of that enormous tree called creation begins to grow and appear, and leaves of mental urges and desires appear. This whole world is just an outgrowth of the mind. Yourself and God are inseparably entwined in this creation. When the senses are illusion, they also are experienced by illusion. A car is called a car, whether it drives or is stationary in the garage. It is a car. So too, man is God, whatever he thinks, does or moves. My head is buzzing of recognition, deep knowing, being. The fragments of recognition begin to vibrate in my soul. The earth is my earth, life is my life, light is my light. The whole cosmos am I. When you grow in consciousness, it's complete and total, not from 0 to 100 and then finished. All inclusive. When you get to 100, you also have the 0 in you. You leave nothing behind. All, omnipresent, and yet you are apart from that. The old man has also the child inside. The beginning is an urge in you to go to experience. The end of that urge is memory. If you enjoy now, you are no more dependent of later. And later is again another now. There is no escape possible from freedom. Yeah, wow! I am light, and the shadow around it, I don't care. It can be stolen. I am soul, and the body around it, I don't care. It can be stolen. The fight for peace is as stupid as screaming for silence. I am stuck in an air bubble of a dream. It soon will burst. I not only have to deal with my air bubble, but also with yours. And when mine bursts, yours will be no more neither. Light is born. A bird that descends is love that descends on earth. No escape possible to peace. It is impossible to fight against peace. Truth is indivisible, but we live it together. All that you do is already done. It never took place. It is the emptiness which gives us form, the emptiness which combines. All that takes its form from emptiness must also give up its form. Emptiness remains, to form new and dissolve. If your form dissolves, then you are emptiness again, emptiness of all, and you form all. Who says that I am? Who can say that if there is only one? The all that I am tells me that. I go there where I already was. I am terminal and I am being born. There exists no other image than that of yourself. It can only be lonely when there are two. Who am I when there is oneness? Who am I if there is only one? Well, that one. Simple, huh? Where there is traveling, there is a road. There's only one vision, but every one has their own view. Soon you'll be just a memory of hope actually. Days pass by as if they don't exist. Time is running itself to zero. If I don't really exist, who tells me that I am thinking this, that these are my thoughts? Then I am also that rain shower. I am the rain. I fall apart in drops. I only stop falling when I stand up. If you stop acting, creation also stops. 3 W's. Who wants wins. 3 steps towards yourself. Thinking, thinking through, not thinking. If you open up for the many, the oneness returns to you. If I don't exist, do you talk loudly to you? Not loudly, in silence I am heard. It is inside me that everything happens. I only need to listen. I want to have more than only memory of the contact that I have with Baba. Life is a play. Could it be that I had enough of it? Although I can enjoy immensely, sometimes it is grey and barren, but I notice that periods get shorter. The moment just before you wake up is the moment you are unborn, before your mind drags you into the illusion of appearances. The mind itself is an appearance. Let's make it a sunshine appearance. The more one evaluates, the intenser life gets. Sometimes you get the impression that there is something about to explode. We live mentally, physically and astral, and by neglecting one area, you can damage the other two. Your nervous system can withstand high stresses, provided they don't come too brusquely. Like an engine that must warm up in order not to break everything, you must make some movements when the brains are under pressure with too great spiritual activity. In that way, the energy is temporarily better distributed. Sometimes I got heavy waves of shocks of energy through my spine, upward to the heart region, just like that, suddenly rising. It was overwhelming. In yoga terms, they speak of kriyas, the kundalini that lays as a snake rolled up at the bottom of the spine and comes free. This liberating feeling seemed like what I felt in India after I had seen Baba passing by with closed eyes. Fire! I never paid much attention to it. Everything that has to do with the body regulates itself, I thought. I trust Baba, and if this has something to do with liberation, I like it best and can't get enough of it in ages. Nothing worldly can even approach that, although I can't imagine that liberated souls experience this continually. Then they should dance the boogie-woogie all the time of delight. You and I are one, it cannot be otherwise. Your power and my bending for that power makes us great. It makes the minus a plus and the plus even greater plus. Perfection into infinity. Thank you, my great, good, loving Father. How I love you. Take me down so I can raise myself up in you. Take away the ground under my feet so I can walk on your light. Take away my breath so my heart can beat on your rhythm, so that my blood can stream in your veins. Kill me so that I can be born in you. Dissolve me so that I can spread myself in your spheres. Arrogance comes before the fall, and foolishness will meet the light. To fall I don't mind, and his light I like to meet. Whatever happens, you can never become more dead than you already are. More alive, yes. I had many dreams. I remember one that left a big impression. The day before, I had played with a group in a game. We danced with the group where we imagined to be a snake that crawled, twisting out of its skin, and thereby we imagined that we left something of ourselves, offering it to God. I offered my ego dancing and turning. At night I dreamed of a hill where it was grey and gloomy, chill and damp, and there was a house of concrete and a field outside with concrete walls along with water seeped, and all kinds of subterranean animal monsters came to me and attacked. I could avoid and flee a lot, hide, etc., but a snake kept chasing me. It looked like a monster, evil, grey and tall, with a persistent look that could not be fooled. I avoided all the time, but he kept attacking. It seemed like a mechanical creature that was unstoppable. I was terrified, and because it was a dream, I was completely left there without knowing that there was anyone or anything for help, so that I did not seek support either. Normally you know that you have to undergo something because it helps you forward and you accept it, but now I did not have that support in the dream. I was there in mortal danger, so panicked and distressed. The snake kept coming. I saw a concrete box with tools and grabbed a cast iron pipe and stabbed the snake in its mouth, through its head and body. The attack stopped. What the blood that flowed, whole streams. Baba, this was really the underworld. I woke up by fear, but immediately knew that I had killed my ego, at least a part. This sweet Baba, he really helps me on the way to him. I am phantoming and processing the deepest layers of my subconscious mind. Thank you. The dream felt like something of the Middle Ages, a sort of farm with concrete watering channels. Nothing in the universe is made of solid material. Everything consists of vibrations that are being held in a form by energy. Persons in a dream seem as solid or touchable as in a daily existence. All particles dissolve on the rhythm of the universal heartbeat, beating and vibrating with an unbelievably high frequency, an insane delirious dance, the dance of Shiva, in which creation and destruction continuously and simultaneously take place. The universe can be called mental rather than material, only appearance of consciousness. Every one of us is in direct relation to everything that is. So it is impossible there exists a separate personal entity. No happening can exist on its own, which means that happenings on a great distance of each other must be related to each other. All that is the primal energy. If the living being is seen as energy, pulsing energy, it is no more than emergence, like a mirage on desert sand. Since we are just appearance, it is obvious that we cannot take action in our own initiative as an independent being. Your shadow can never move apart from your body. This primal energy is life. And this energy is in rest conditioning, impersonal and absolute. When consciousness rests, we are unaware of our existence. Consciousness that moves forms space in which appearances are knowable and time to be perceived. When now there occurs movement in it, it becomes aware of itself. I am. That is what a living being actually is, what we are. In every particle of the universe is this primal energy that splits and merges, pulses, and in this movement, this split, the consciousness I am arises, and from that arises the identification with the energy particles that split. Here, time and space start to play a role, a stage role, and this forms the attachment from which liberation is thought. So all actions are universal consciousness in movement. This universal movement produces in itself the whole of movements, the manifestation, so it dreams everything, inclusive itself. Just like in a personal dream, there you also dream everything that happens in yourself. You just lay in your bed. So living beings are dream objects, we. If you really think you are the one that acts, you commit yourself also to take the fruits of that action, so to collect. If you mean you act personally, you also get to deal with the results personally, and pain, and effort, and fear, etc. We don't have consciousness. Consciousness has us. At birth, you don't enter the world enters you. The Absolute, God, expresses Himself in time and space, and we are the instruments, the apparatus, with what that experience takes place. God knows Himself through us. We know Him via ourselves and via each other. Mirror glass. The cleaner, the clearer. We are as much the knower as the known, the one who stands before the mirror as well as the one who is reflected. By the way, who stands at which side? And none of each has an independent existence, no free will or possibility to act independent. We are only stuck to the idea of own independent action, and with that to result and expectation, whereby we attach ourselves to limitations. So independence actually means bound, and dependent is loose, free. Strange, isn't it? Because everything is reflected, it is enough to turn everything around to see clearly. The image does not show the reality, but the reverse of it. After all, before the mirror, left is right. When the mirror becomes clear, you look through the illusion. Intuitively, we know that oneness exists, and still we won't give up dualism. We want to wake up without giving up the dream. We don't want to give up war and still demand peace. It is hard to give up something you think to possess in order to get something which you don't know. Still, you don't look for salvation of the imaginary pain, not for yourself, but for your imaginary I. All troubles you do for yourself, because yourself, the real self, has no trouble whatsoever. You look for freedom for your illusion, which can only give imaginary, non-existing freedom, which actually is imprisonment. It is clear that we don't really live our life, but that life takes place. Consciousness in motion. When thinking and feeling are left in peace, there is the spontaneous movement of the undivided consciousness, and this empty mind is the opposite of the dull mind, namely full of power and brightness. Acting from this state is not acting. Not acting with an empty mind means acting spontaneously. Everything falls away. Selfless service, meditating and repeating the name, because you are no more. there to render service. Then you are the service, the one who serves and who receives. In that pure beingness you can do everything and also leave everything what arises in you. It just happens. Sai Baba says man has two duties in this life: to be of service and develop spiritually. Once you are spiritually ripe, the former falls away. With the understanding of truth, all thinking about truth falls away. In all religions comes forward that the individual form looks for God in order to benefit from it. This promotes dualism even more, being separated from God. God is now admired in the form of Sai Baba, soon in the form of Prema Sai, and before in the form of Shirdi Sai. What does that say about form, transience, energy and motion? Everything indicates your search for the self that is to be found in yourself. You find your way out of yourself inside yourself. If you can see for yourself an image of the oneness and the absolute, it is easy to understand that God as form is an imagination of the mind, which itself is temporarily formed. But to help us, the formless God appeared in the form of Sai Baba, to be closer to us and focus us on the importance of the inner formless. If you see and know yourself as one with all, God is the same as you. If you consider yourself as a part I, you see God outside of you. Finally, you will experience God in and out. The border between disappears. Your ignorance is that border. Shadow shows the form of the body, but is itself without a body or substance. When the effect is destroyed, the cause also is destroyed. When the source of consciousness itself has been reached, the consciousness disappears. This cause of consciousness, you are yourself, and that from where this consciousness arises in you has to be already there before there is consciousness. The lamp lightens itself with its own light. The ripple on the water itself is also water. After a flood, everything disappears underwater. So too, all feelings and thoughts disappear when you are flooded with the light of bright, undivided presence. When enlightenment takes place, others see that as an individual that has been enlightened, but the enlightened one simply goes on with its activities without an interest if they take place or not, does not react anything, but does not desire anything neither. He seems insensitive for the outer world. Should he react with ferocity, then it is a spontaneous outburst without motives or preference, but rather the wise one who would point something out. He knows that attachment is only imaginary and therefore has no interest in striving for liberation from that bondage and lives in full satisfaction. The imagined individual fulfills his predetermined function and clears the way for other predetermined functions. The imaginary creation of the consciousness in the consciousness is perceived through the consciousness by the means of millions of instruments which we call living beings, and the problem starts with identification with it. You can see this clearly and still you're trapped time and again, persistent. It still did not penetrate deep enough that all is well in totality and there is nothing to achieve in that totality. Because your ego is outside of reality, the form of Sai Baba also is outside reality, as he, form, is seen by the ego. Only God inside him is recognized as being eternal reality, recognized by whom? By himself in you. He sees himself, you see yourself. The fourth journey I made to Baba was heavy, that's to say, for my little eye. He walks by in a darshan hall. Darshan means the seeing of the Lord. And I say in myself, I surrender everything completely to you. He doesn't look left or right, walks straight on, and the sun rises just at the moment and shines in my face, shines at the same time on Baba's head and hair as a crown, and he walks straight into the light, becomes more weightier, he fades in that light, his light, while the sun, that same light, rises in my eyes, and I merge in it. I see nothing other than light. Baba disappears in the light, the same light appears at the same time in me. One is one. I see the matchbox with the rising sun on it before me that he gave me years ago. The whole further journey I saw little of Baba. Every time I sat behind something and it was enormous crowded, even so crowded that we had to pass the nights with our group outside of the ashram. It felt like a rejection, and all the time I was rather negative. Afterwards I only saw how beautiful it was. After all, I did say I offered everything, and then all disappeared in light. In light exists no form, mine neither. And sometimes, most of the time, you realize things only much later, as if you unpack a gift which has much paper around. Because he ignored me as a personal form, I thought I did not count. Ungrateful being I am. How I suffered to see myself. It is not you that burns there, but I. I am miserably unhappy because I split myself into me's. Your love pulverizes me to ashes, Baba. What is it that hurts so much in me? You, me, my ego? It is your illusion that hurts and will hurt even more, till you see that it is not me that you long for. Do I destroy myself then to be me? No, to be me. I am craving for, longing for love. It's not depending on me being visible or not. Your attention, that's what I want to have. Present is omnipresent. I see it as all or nothing. Nobody becomes perfect before he is capable to merge in that perfection. Reality presents itself, and the unreality does not want to depart. That is what is happening in me now. Just let it be. I don't search for it and I don't go against it, although the chaos inside is raging and I suffer from it. Deep inside is something that knows. That knowing clears up that chaos, and when space becomes available, there automatically comes peace that lies underneath. Although I always forget that during problems, it still is present. Even if I collapse down in the well, I will never hit the bottom. That's something I am sure of. That power in me is He. And that's why life is beautiful. You may undergo the beauty in that well. Happiness cannot be obtained from happiness. Happiness can only be obtained from sorrow. I also had a vision. Baba stood right before me and said, "Go." "Where, Baba?" In my mind I saw the interview room. He said, "Go in the room, I will talk to you." I walked to the room, through the crowd and talking of people, and entered the mandir near a dark wooden door. It's nice and cool, but someone stands before the door and I cannot go inside. I say, let me in, but he doesn't hear a thing. It's namely a soldier with a green army costume, very neatly ironed, but his head is a silver-colored snake head with yellowish eyes. He does not hear because there are no ears. Phew, whoa. I saw the intention of it. The soldier looked very good and cared for. A soldier is a fighter, but because he had the snake head, he might fight well, but not for a good case because he could not receive orders for the battle. But neither get other orders. In fact, he was cut off everything, absent. I would do better to listen to Baba's advice. Your attention I want, he said before. Still, I felt there had to be a deeper explanation about ego as a lower nature or as illusion. Later, I read in a book that people in India honored snakes in a statue so that they would have children. Well, at my age, it would not be recommended, but the inner child in me, it could work with that. That joyful creature that has been suppressed all the time. Well, Baba will show what must be done. I also dreamt that I waited there for a building to follow a course, but it was never my turn to enter, and when I walked away, it was just my turn. Yeah, attention and persevere. All this happened some 3 years ago. Now I feel like going again for the 5th time. I wish I had no expectations, but I cannot say so. I can say though that I accept everything what is about to come, also if it would disappoint. Is it possible to disappoint them? Even if I would have a problem with it, for eventually it seems Baba wants only good for you. He cannot do otherwise. So the journey is good in advance. To live in total acceptation means live naturally, spontaneous and free with the confidence that spontaneity will decide how to act on the right moment. Everything you search is in fact spoiling energy because you look for yourself. Still, you cannot do different than being busy with it. It happens. To be in presence means to live without desire. I was still in India, although my body was already home, dreamt a lot of Baba and longed for him, but he kept pointing at my own inner self where he was present. I am home, he had said. But I dreamt of him in India, of his form, and became sad. I want no more, I need no more, I do no more. I hear no more, I see no more, I know no more. Good, I feel inside. What is the use of reacting? If this is not my flesh, why bother with it? It will go along without me. It happens, and this it you are. I am engaged in the deepest struggle of all my lives. I raise myself up. I shake myself loose from myself. Imagine what that means. I am the sugar, he says, and I want to stay the ant that enjoys the sugar. So enjoy yourself, he says. But I think there's nothing to like about myself. Then taste yourself, he says. It feels like I am ripped loose of my own being, of my own roots, as if there is a deep abyss between myself and myself, a deep cavern over which I cannot return, a gaping hole. I am letting go, loose, disconnecting. Later you will be total again yourself, only yourself. There is nothing else, he says. I have no more pleasure in life, for I am no longer that life. You truly can love yourself. That self has nothing to do with you, he says. But who loves it then? The self. You are not, it is. How can I live in the illusion if I am not even there? You don't live, that exactly is the illusion. Who do you think is talking here? Well, yes, true, the self, yourself. Am I becoming crazy? Am I becoming wise? You are becoming no thing, and that exactly is wisdom. Thoughts are not mine, they belong to the cosmos. They come floating through my head. I see them go. Even the head is not mine. See where your thoughts have brought you life after life. And do you still want to keep listening? Surrender to emptiness, only then you will be fulfilled. If you so necessary must think you have to think of the now. Now everything takes place. Now includes everything. All your wishes and desires are located in the now. There has never been anything else but the now. Now completes everything, the wish and the fulfillment, bondage and liberation, pain and the relief, the end and the sugar. I have the cosmos in my head. I am the cosmos. The now is not in your head, it is in your heart. Death fight. The price you pay when pain will not touch you anymore is that nice things will no more impress you neither. Then comes the real lasting, the silent joy. The true happiness is hidden in balance. Balance is silence with all movements inclusive. You must first have made all movements before you can come in the middle. The stillness that contains all movements is the true stillness, not the stillness that excludes movements. The wish to be in stillness confirms the lack of it. I feel miserable alone. No person in the world can cancel that, only he who is egoless. Nothing gives joy, only he, and he brings that joy not to me, but to himself. How can he who is egoless give to me who is ego? How can I, who is ego, receive from him who is egoless? When I receive, I remain ego. He must ignore me, then he can give me. He must ignore me as person, then he can give me, who is the self. You are all except my thinking. I give it to you, I ask you, take it away, dissolve it. Nothing anymore. Can you give your ego? Can you yourself give your ego? No, he in his mercy only can take it. As long as I give, I am. The longing is the only obstacle. When you don't long no more for freedom, there is freedom. The wish stops if you wish no more. Maelstrom in my head. Chaos in my head. If you don't want anything, there is still the will that does not want nothing. Give up your freedom, then there is freedom. I am engaged in a giant battle that I never can win. My will against my no will. They both come out of me, so are both equally strong. surrender. I cannot let go because you are my being. I can only let go myself, but you, who are my being, decides when and how. And I stop with profoundly longing. I scream gorges in mountains. I cry glaciers from ice walls. I move rocks with my craving. I beg seas apart from earth grounds, earth out of oceans. I become crushed in the dust of stars. The cosmos is tearing me apart, disperses the atoms of my being in the gas clouds of the universe. Fly, fly away. Without wings I fly, without air, without flying I fly. I am the flight. I want to give God what's left of me. I come bring you what is not mine. Destroy me, time is ripe. I bring the remains of my mortal remains. In thy hands I commend myself. I wonder, who was it, that loser?